community ecology. As I said in the previous set of slides, ecology needs study of the home. And we look at ecology in the home, we look at the community, all the aspects of it, the living and non-living things, the plants, the animals, and everything has a role within it. When we look at the generalists, these are living things that live on basically every continent, with the exception of Antarctic. And even then, there is some, believe it or not. Wild grasses, different species of grasses, yes, but we got wild grasses in all 6 continents. Same as rats. Rats live on all 6 continents. Again, different species, but they all have a generalized niche within those areas. And no matter where you go, you're going to have grasses, you're going to have rats.
Ecological generalists are among all 6 continents, live anywhere. Grasses are everywhere, so are rats.
And then there's ecological specialists. These are ones that only exist within certain parts of its unique ecological community. Elephants only live in the savannas in Africa as well as India. California redwoods, the giant sequoias, only live in the northern coast of California. Now, they can live in other areas, and there was a person that took one of the seedlings, it's a pine cone, and planted it in Snellville, Georgia. It got to 80 feet tall, which is tall for almost any tree, but these redwoods get 400 to 500 feet tall. So even in a different ecosystem, it was not as hardy as it was within its normal area. It's very specialized and only can exist to its full maturity within one ecosystem, that being the Northern California's coastline area.
Ecological specialists only live within certain areas. Elephants only within the Indian subcontinent as well as Africa. California redwoods, the biggest trees in the world, only grow in Northern California.
And in terms of reproduction, there's 2 types of strategists. There's R strategists. Remember, R is the high fecundity. I always remember R breeding like rabbits, and rabbits can have 4 sets of babies in the summer. Those babies are clutches, a group of them. They can have 4 clutches in the summer. Dandelions, every time you blow on these dandelions, what happens? You release 400 to 500 seeds. These are R strategists. Lots of babies, lots of offspring, because very few survive to adulthood.
R strategists. These things make babies like there's no tomorrow. Rabbits, who usually have 5 to 6 groups of babies in a summer, as well as dandelions, blowing one of those, they have hundreds of seeds. As we learned previously, these have both high fecundity.
Then there's K strategists. Humans are among those. These gorillas are a similar one. The average gorilla is not ready to go on its own until by age 14 or 15. Oak trees live a very long time, and very few will make it to maturity as well. These are K-type strategists.
K strategists, such as gorillas and oak trees, low fecundity. In fact, the gorillas are very much like human beings. The children don't leave till about age 13 or 14, and still they stay within the family. So these are K strategists. Stay with the parents for a long time until they're ready. Oak trees, as we said before, will live a very long time, produce lots of seeds. Only a few will turn into future trees.
And these are indicator species that determine the health of the ecosystem, no matter where we're at. Bats, fireflies, frogs, any issues, any of these, and these aren't top components of the ecosystem, but they are critical components. And anytime you see less bats or less fireflies, less frogs, we're concerned there's something damaging the ecological environment.
Indicator species, very sensitive to the environment. These are the best examples here in Georgia. Bats, fireflies, and frogs. You see or hear these, you know you're in a good, safe, healthy environment. These are disappearing. It's a sign of there could be a lot of pollution, a lot of other ecological problems.
Keystone species. We talked about this in the previous set of slides with beavers, as they were keystone in Yellowstone in damming up rivers, which brought a lot of other wildlife because turning those rivers into lakes. Starfish as well. Starfish are predators of oysters, clams, various types of mollusks, and they control a lot of the living things on the seafloor. Don't have those, it'll be overrun with other species.
Keystone species. These are among the most important of species. As we learned about the beaver before with ecology. Starfish too. They may not be the highest one, but they are important to all other aspects of the ecology within their biome.
We also have prey versus non-prey detection. How do our hunters hunt? Now, rattlesnakes are called pit vipers, and those two holes below the eyes are actually not nostrils per se. They're heat pits. They detect heat. They hunt warm-blooded animals such as mice, rats, rabbits. Other pit vipers similar to this are copperheads as well as cottonmouths, both here in Georgia as well.
Prey versus non-prey detection. Right here is a rattlesnake. And you can see the two large nostrils that actually is for detecting heat. So they only hunt warm-blooded animals such as mice, rats, and rabbits. They will not go after a lizard because it's cold. And those nostrils, which are actually heat pits, will help detect warm-blooded animals.
In terms of hunting, there's active versus passive hunting. Alligator snapping turtle on the left here goes about 400 to 500 pounds. It lives in the southern swamps, primarily in Louisiana and parts of Texas and Mississippi. And you can see it's got a little red tongue on the bottom of its lower jaw here. That pretends it sits underwater like for an hour and it dangles out like it's a worm. A fish comes, eats it, snaps it up. Now looking at this thing, it cannot hunt fast, so it's very passive. It kind of lures the animals towards it. On the flip side, we've got a hawk here, which captured a snake. And hawks are active in terms of looking for their prey they're going to eat, unlike the snapping turtle, which is waiting for it to come to it.
Passive versus active. Passive, alligator snapping turtle will sit in the bottom of a river or a lake, and they usually live in Louisiana and East Texas. And you see their little red tongue at the bottom acts as a lure. They can't move fast. They'll wait for a fish to come to them, lure them with that tongue, which looks like a worm, and then chomp down. Active, on the flip side, is a hawk actually looking for a snake to eat and hunting it down.
Other methods of protection include camouflage. Here's a turtle with moss growing on its back and shell. And you gotta keep in mind, it did not start throwing moss on the back. It's evolved that way, that the moss naturally grows on it. And turtles aren't known for fast moving, so if you got a bird of prey or even a fox or a coyote or a wolf, it's not going to see this. It's just going to see it's another rock with some leaves on it. There's some lichen or something on it. It's not going to see it as a living animal. It's protected.
Camouflage, a good way to evade a predator by just looking like the environment. Here's a turtle here with moss growing on its back.
Many animals have little or no defenses, such as the whippoorwill here. Here at night, and its defense is only being up at night. Sleeps during the day. It's dark colored, so you can't see it that well even at night, and that's its protection.
Being nocturnal at night, more difficult to see. This is safe for a lot of animals. Here's an example of whippoorwill, which you only hear at night. It sleeps during the day. Harder to see at night for a predator to get it.
Other animals avoid capture actively. There's kangaroo rat. These live in the southwest United States. You can see on the left here, kangaroo rat jumping away from a rattlesnake that is striking. It can jump to about 6 feet. And it is in the rat family, but if you look at the back feet, you can see it's built for that type of jumping. It's evolved that way. The ones that could jump longer escaped and had more babies. The ones that couldn't jump that far got eaten and could not reproduce.
Avoiding capture. Some species evolve such a way so they cannot get captured or make it difficult to. such as the kangaroo rat, which can jump up to 12 feet. Look at the picture on the left, you see a rattlesnake missing a kangaroo rat. These aren't your normal rats. Look at the feet and legs on this thing. They do jump like kangaroos. They live in the desert in the United States. And as I said, they can jump about 12 feet.
Fleeing is another methodology, such as these flying fish. They really don't fly, but their fins allow them to glide 200 to 300 feet. They'll jump out of the water if there's a predator, such as a shark or a barracuda. And the shark and barracuda don't have the knowledge to know, oh, they went up in the air. They just seem to disappear, and they land somewhere else.
Similar to the kangaroo rat, flying fish. They actually don't fly, but they glide for hundreds of yards, real long fins. They sense some kind of predator as a shark, they just jump out of the water. And the shark doesn't know where they went.
Disrupting handling. This is more a defense mechanism. The zebra here is kicking a lion, going after it in the jaw, which could kill it. That's how basic it is. A horse, and that kick could kill or at least break off the tooth of a lion. And lions have to be trained by their parents, primarily their mother, to go for the quick kill in terms of going for the jugular, the neck, the heart area. Because when animals are attacking back, when you try and attack it, they're going to fight for their lives, and they can do damage as well.
Disruptive handling. This is a way a prey can try to escape a predator. As you can see, the zebra is kicking in the mouth a lion. And this could hurt the lion quite a bit. Not only possibly kill it, but at least break a tooth out, making it more difficult to hunt. By the way, a lion should know, this is a young lion, should know to hunt by going after the neck. Hard to fight back that way. But this is how some predators can escape, by disrupting what they're doing.
Toxins are another way. It's caterpillar. It says do not touch. You can see by it gets stuck. It gets stings. Not only humans, but other animals. If they touch one of these, they're not going to touch another one again.
Toxins, like nicotine the plant, this caterpillar has a poison. You eat it, you will not eat another one if you get so sick from this one. Or touch it for that matter.
Now, one of the things we're going to talk about in the next section are ecotones. These are the borders, and this is where a lot of evolution takes place, a lot of changes. So, and I got three borders here. I got this border of the lake, which is one ecosystem, to the marsh, which is that those brown weeds. That it's the ecotones right between those two, and then between the marsh as well as the forest is another border. It's those borders between two different ecosystems where animals and plants that can evolve in both, often great changes take place.
Ecotones. These are the borders between two different ecological areas. We actually have three here. One ecotone is the lake to the marsh. Second ecotone is the marsh to the trees, or say the land. And the third one is the marsh up to the woods over here. Different creatures are living among these different areas.